Okay, it's August 27th, 2026, and this is another journal entry. Recently, I was looking at a move that Patrick did a lot. It looked something like this. And I was analyzing it, and I couldn't really figure out how he was doing his positions to his hands and that sort of thing, in the way that he orients his fingers and that sort of thing. But I noticed, like, he starts off like this, going over one arm and then underneath another arm and then going back over. And I was having difficulty doing that. And I had to kind of just condition myself to going over and under and then over and under. And I wasn't sure like how to orient my hands and fingers. So I contacted his brother Brett, and then I chatted with him a little bit. I asked him if he could help me out, that sort of thing. And he basically gave me some advice or insight, I guess, as to how to think about it, I guess. And it's more related to visualizing or imagining something rather than being focused on your hands. At least this is what I got from the discussion or the feedback that he gave me. Is my understanding is that I have to kind of visualize or use my imagination to kind of see something that isn't there, basically imagine something. And what this does for me is it kind of takes the focus off of wondering about where to put my hands, and it kind of puts the focus elsewhere on something that's not there but is there, something I have to kind of like believe is there and that sort of thing, if that makes sense. So that kind of helped me just get into the feeling of the motion and kind of take away some of the focus from my hands, at least something like that. I'm not really explaining this too well, but I just gotta try and explain it the best that I can. So I was doing that, and it got me thinking about just the process of visualizing and imagining stuff and being more creative and that sort of thing, because I am a creative person, I guess. I did a lot of artwork in the past. But anyways, I like to think about the concept of like air and wind and the fluidity of that substance while I'm doing my liquid movement stuff. And I like to take symbols or concepts that are related to air and wind and kind of work it into my philosophy or just my, I don't know what, my theme or style or whatever you want to call it. And so I thought of this symbol of the clouds in the sky and how they always are like changing shape, and you're not sure like what it looks like. Like, you know, that saying or the thing people do is like they stare at the clouds and they could see images in the clouds and that sort of thing. So that's what I was kind of thinking about, is like this cloud symbol and theme. It's related to air, it's related to wind, and the clouds themselves are like formed by water evaporating and then condensing in the air. So like it's basically like liquid in the sky. It's like liquid air basically. And so I like that. I like that it's kind of connected to this theme that I have. And because because I could identify that symbol or theme, it kind of adds weight to this concept of like visualizing and imagining. So that kind of helps reinforce that idea or habit. And so I could get more into the process of visualizing and imagining this cloud or cloud, I guess. And so I've been kind of trying to do that, just kind of imagine like moving a cloud that kind of changes shapes and forms, or like maybe it like starts to rain and I could kind of like, try to express that idea in my motions, like doing something like that. Maybe today I was thinking, today I was feeling like lacking energy, and then I had the thought, maybe I could kind of express this concept of lightning to kind of like electrify like my feeling and energy. And so I was kind of like getting more like, I don't know how to describe it, just like electric or whatever, with my movements. But I don't know how that came across. I have to kind of review that, and I might explore that some more to kind of see if it helps me kind of generate some energy or that sort of thing when I'm feeling a little drained. So those are some things that I've been kind of messing with or wrestling with inside my head. I've ordered a tripod, a small tripod that I'm going to use because I have this idea of using one of my older cameras that's bigger and heavier, but I need like a more sturdy tripod because I'm not comfortable with the current tripod that I'm using. It's too flimsy, and if it gets windy, I don't want this other camera lens to get damaged. So I ordered a heavier, a more durable, low level tripod so that hopefully it doesn't fall over. So I should be able to get some more interesting footage or shots, whatever you want to call it, hopefully. And I think that might also allow me to kind of play a bit with the composition of the video. And if that works, it'll also help me kind of move around more and find other interesting locations. I was thinking one thing I want to challenge myself is to find other locations, but there's not a lot of locations that seem very interesting to me, like visually. So I think part of the challenge for me is just picking a spot. Even if it doesn't look interesting, I will have to somehow make it interesting. So I could just go around randomly, pick a spot, and then just force myself to kind of figure out compositionally like how to make that location more interesting. So that's something I'm thinking about doing, but it's going to take a little bit of experimentation to get right, I guess, and I have to kind of condition myself to be comfortable in that sort of situation, because my older camera is a lot bigger, the lens is bigger, it might draw more attention, and I don't like drawing too much attention to myself because I get a little self-conscious, and that's something I have to work on. So hopefully I can figure out a way to like make it really quick to set up and then just do my thing and then break it down and then move on to somewhere else. That would be ideal. I've kind of looked for smaller cameras, but I might try using a smaller camera. I have a small GoPro, an old GoPro that I remember that I had, and I realized it could do time lapses. So right now it's doing a time lapse of all these clouds in the sky. because it's like liquid in the sky. It's this theme or symbol that I really like. I did it yesterday and it came out pretty well, but I'm gonna try it with a little different settings to see if it comes out a little better. What else? So yeah, the leaves are changing color on the trees, so like the environment, the color is going to become a little bit more interesting. So I may want to go to places that have more natural scenery and that sort of thing, instead of just being locked in this cage thing, this band shell. Even though it's really nice and comfortable here, has a great flat floor, I need to figure out a way to become more flexible in where I take my movement and that sort of thing, and feeling more comfortable being myself elsewhere or wherever I want to be and that sort of thing. So hopefully I can do that. Yeah, so what else is on my mind? I'm not sure what else to talk about. Oh yeah, there's like other concepts that I've been kind of exploring. Like another concept that I thought of is like turbulence. This concept of turbulence, where like there's like these micro subtle movements changing, and I was kind of experimenting with that a little bit recently, yesterday and today basically, because there's a lot of times where I don't know how to move or continue moving, and then I just stop. But rather than stopping, I could just kind of slow down a bit and kind of, catch my breath, kind of relax and kind of reflect a bit. And while I'm doing that, just kind of do like micro, kind of turbulent type of movements, kind of expressing like this unsteady state of the wind or interaction with the wind and that sort of thing. Being kind of confused, like this confused, diffused concept of the wind and how it like, what's the word? Erodes the earth, right? So, or like a fog, like the clouds is forming like a fog and becoming hazy, where there's like no shape to it. It's just kind of like a unified, just like a haze to everything, right? There's that. So like kind of slow down and be kind of foggy in my conceptualization of the movement, because I don't know like how to continue with it. So that's another concept related to this theme of air and wind. And so I like sticking to that theme, but like you can find other themes and symbols that kind of just work the same way, right? It doesn't have to be related to air or water or it could be anything. You just gotta pick whatever interests you, whatever excites you, whatever makes you feel alive, I guess, right? And that's kind of why I do this thing. Is kind of it makes me feel like there's like a emotion, like this movement inside me, and like this connection with like the world and the space, right? Feeling the space and working with it, moving with it and that sort of thing. Kind of helps relax the mind, stimulate the mind, kind of make it kind of cleanse itself, or just let things go, or that sort of thing. It's just something that's interesting, something that's supposed to be fun. I want to make this fun. That's another thing that I'm kind of struggling with is how to make it fun, because I don't know, it's sometimes it doesn't feel that fun, and when it doesn't feel fun, I kind of get a little disappointed, or I wonder, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this, sort of thing, right? So that's something I need to like figure out more. It's like how to make this fun and enjoyable. I don't want it to feel like work, right? I don't want it to feel like a struggle. So I think part of it is like trying not to have expectations as to like how things will turn out or be. And sometimes I try to put too much effort in trying to improve myself and develop and become better. And by trying to force it, I think sometimes I hit a wall, and when I don't see myself improving, it's like I'm hitting this like imaginary wall that isn't really there, but it's like I don't know what it is, but so I think I need to like try to just keep it natural and keep it just real, keep it whatever it is, and not try to make it something bigger than it's supposed to be, or try not to get too lost in my thoughts as to like where it'll end up or should end up, and that sort of thing, if that makes sense. So that's another reason why yesterday or the past few days I have stopped using the music, because I feel like the music while I was moving, it would distract me. It would cause me to kind of fall into a previous pattern, just in order to kind of keep up with the music. And the music was kind of playing me too much. It was kind of it was making me perform for something that wasn't really in the moment, I guess, but rather like in the past, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain it, but I feel like removing the music allows me to kind of slow down and just feel what I'm feeling, and visualize whatever I'm visualizing. And it's more difficult, but it's also more me. It's more this right here. It's more the presence, and just being myself, rather than something else influencing me, and playing me and causing me to get that energy channeled through me, right? Because depending on the type of music that's played, it makes you feel different things and kind of makes you move different ways, right? And that can be good if you want to do that. I mean, it's fun sometimes to do that, but sometimes you want to do something else, right? So I just needed a change from that, so that I kind of remember, what I'm doing. I'm kind of trying to return to my roots, basically, from when I started, because when I started doing this liquid movement type of stuff, I didn't use any music, right? I was just kind of moving around, kind of feeling things out, and so I'm kind of returning to that. And it's more difficult, but I feel like it'll allow me to kind of do more interesting things, or develop in a way that is more me, I guess. But anyways, those are just some thoughts that have been on my mind recently. and I probably forgot some stuff, and I probably struggled a lot explaining everything because I'm not used to talking a whole lot. So hopefully I did okay. Anyways, I'll just wrap this up, and yeah, that's it. So yeah.